All right. So for everyone who's on board with us so far, thank you so much for taking the time to join us today. I'm quite excited to give you an Nexford virtual tour. So first of all, my name is Mai, and I'm an advisor here at Nexford University. I've been with Nexford for over 2 years now, and it's been quite the journey. I've spoken with so many learners during that time. And one of the most common questions we get is, how exactly will I be learning at Nexford? How was the learning experience like? Perhaps some of you haven't, even tried to learn online before. So I'm here today, and we're all here today. Everyone who's on board with me as well are here to tell you exactly how that learning experience at Nexford is going to be like. So with that, I'd love to introduce those that are with me as well. We have two MBA learners. We have Ola Dimeji Bamsa from Nigeria, and we have Rifki Rusdiana in Malaysia. So if you guys can please introduce yourselves and also say what program you're currently studying at Nexford. We can start with Ola Dimeji.
Hello, everyone. My name is Ola Dimeji Bamsa. I'm a current MBA learner from Nigeria, and I'm happy to be studying with Nexford. I currently work as business development with a TV station here in Nigeria. Happy to be here.
Amazing. Thanks, Ola Dimeji. Rifki as well, please.
Okay, hi everyone. It's my first time to see with you the offer all around the world because good evening from Malaysia anyway, but I don't know what your time. So I'm Indonesian actually, but currently I am working as an expat from the one of the biggest airlines in the Malaysia, in the Southeast Asia right now. So currently I am an MBA learner since May. It's quite short time actually, but a lot of from the Nexford University changed my life since I joined here. So I can tell you it's really, really interesting, and then it's really amazing experience.
Amazing. Thanks a lot, Rifki. All right. We were supposed to have Dr. Bill as well. You might have seen a professor at Nexford join us today. Unfortunately, it seems like something has come up and he may not be able to join us. So let's just be able to join us throughout the webinar. That's great. Not, don't worry, we're going to give you the full Nexford virtual tour today. And if you have any questions, please make sure to send them in the Q&A section, as well as the chat. But you're going to be seeing in the chat, we're telling you, please send them in the Q&A section so we can get to your answers by the end of the webinar. All right, so let's get started. If you can all see my screen, you'll see that what you're seeing in front of you right now, this is the online platform at Nexford. This is the Nexford Learning Environment. For short, we call that Nextly. And this is going to be your new best friend when you start learning at Nexford. It's what you're going to be logging on to, any time of the day, any time of the week, because there aren't any fixed class times. This is the online platform where you're going to find everything that you need to start your learning, to start your program. So with that, let's just talk about the different features on the online platform, starting with the left side here. This is the navigation pane. So we have a couple of, just helpful buttons here for you. You have a locker where you can upload your files. You're going to have a circle where you can also add friends. You can add professors and always have access to what courses you're enrolled in. And at the bottom, we have a couple of quick links to some resources that you're always going to have access to as a Nexford learner. I'm excited to get into those, but just a little later on in the webinar. Okay, with that, let's talk about the right side as well. So first you'll see this calendar. If I were to click on full calendar, it's going to take you to this page where you're going to see a full view of the calendar, which is really as dynamic as any you might have used before. You'll see that the items on the calendar are color coded depending on what course they belong to. You can even add your own events. So these can be, reminders for assignments. You can make it as descriptive as you want, let it repeat, and so on. The great thing is that you can actually download this calendar onto your mobile phone or your PC or your laptop. So that way everything's always connected and you get reminders for everything. And you can always change the view as well. So this can really help you organize everything. All right, back to the homepage here, you have a to-do list as well. And then this online section is basically where you can chat, even send a private message to all of these learners. So these are learners right now that are currently online from over 80 countries around the world. It's a global learner community. You might also find professors, you might find success advisors, anybody on our team. So we really encourage anyone who's just started learning at Nexford to reach out. It's a great opportunity for you to make some connections for networking, or make some friends that are even possibly studying the same program that you are from somewhere else, at the opposite end of the world. So we really encourage this. And you'll see this Ask NXU button that's really going to follow you on every page on the online platform. We don't want you to forget about this tool. It's really useful. If you ever have a question that you feel isn't that complicated, that you necessarily need to reach out to a success advisor or your professor or somebody else in our team to ask them this question. If it's a common question you feel, these are the FAQs. So for example, if you want to figure out what the orientation is all about, you can just search for that. You'll find a response. You'll even find some screenshots to make it easier for you. And if it still doesn't quite answer the question that you have, you'll even find who else you can reach out to for further information. All right, and with that, I'd love to talk about the middle section. So of course, I'm not an Nexford learner, so you might be finding the word demo in front of you. This is only because I'm on a demo account here, just so I can be able to show you the online platform. And I am enrolled in 4 courses, right? And this is because you can enroll in more than 1 course at the same time at Nexford. Definitely you can go with a more relaxed pace and go 1 course at a time, but you have the option to go up to 3 or even 4 courses. And this can allow you to finish your overall program at a much faster pace. And the faster you finish, actually, the less you pay as well. So this is definitely completely up to you and your schedule and your, of course, your goals as well. And at the bottom, you'll see something called NXU Orientation and also Writing Lab. So these 2 aren't necessarily courses. The orientation, which I'll get into in a minute, is really sort of your welcome package. You receive access to the NXU orientation 5 days before your chosen program start date. And this is through the orientation that it tells you everything you need to know before you get started. It teaches you, how to really use the online platform, and it gives you all the tools and everything to succeed throughout your program. As for the Writing Lab, this is a resource that's always there. So it's not a course that you complete, rather it's, I'll get into it later as well. It's something that's always there to help you with your writing, to help you with your assignments, to help you with so much more in the writing area throughout your program. All right, so with that, let's get into the NXU orientation. Give you an inside look to that. So any course at Nexford actually has 6 modules, as well as a final, as well as closing, final project. And as for the orientation, though, you're going to find that there are 3 modules. So that is because, like I said, it's not an official course. It's a sort of a welcome package. It is just an orientation to tell you everything you need to know before you get started. All right, and let's start with module 1 so we can show you looking at that. So of course, there's going to be like a welcome message for you to tell you a bit more about what's to be expected in the orientation, what are the different elements and the different kind of information you're going to be given. As you delve deeper, you'll see that right from the start, we tell you a bit more about Nexford's mission, about Nexford's founder and CEO, Fadl Tarzi. You'll even find a welcome message from him. So I'll just play this for you guys just for a few seconds to get a sneak peek into this.
It's been said that the future is a convenient place for dreams, so why not dream big? I've always known education changes lives, but I first realized its impact over a decade ago. On my entrepreneurial journey, I saw a gap between the skills of college graduates and the needs of employers. With my own startups, I struggled to find people with the right competencies. For example, I couldn't find a software engineer with effective communication skills. I couldn't find the creative designers who could plan.
you guys enjoyed that little sneak peek of this video from our founder and CEO. Of course, you can watch it in full, hopefully, when you join us at Nexford and start the orientation. And I just want to let you know that this is a small example of the different, dynamic elements through which you're going to be studying at Nexford. So it's not just going to be a lot of text. You're going to find videos like this. There are going to be audio clips, blog length articles, discussion forums where you can discuss topics and different modules with learners as well as with professors. You can book sessions with your professor. You can even join projects where you will be joined with other learners from around the world, and so much more. So don't worry, we always have something to keep you engaged. And you'll see that for these videos, there's always going to be a video transcript. So that's a written transcript that you can download as well to make it easier for you. And you'll see right here, there's an email the CEO button, right? This is because really this comes to show sort of how transparent the whole Nexford family is. And we do call ourselves that. Once you join us at Nexford, you're going to find that you can really get connected with anybody on our team, whether it's our marketing team, our success team, admissions, billings, tech team, you name it. If you have a question that's related to a certain department or anything, you're always going to find somebody you can reach out to, somebody who's going to be more than happy to really help you. And so that includes even the CEO, right from the start. If you have any feedback, you want to compose any type of message to him, you can even do that right from the orientation. As we go along, you'll see some more, notes about what's to be expected. You're going to learn, what are all the programs that we have to offer at Nexford. What are specializations? We have that for the MBA as well as the BBA. So that's our master's and bachelor's degree program. You'll learn about, when our courses start, when they end, and as well as the syllabus. You can download the syllabus for the orientation, and there's always a syllabus that you can download actually for any course. As you go through even just the first module of the orientation, you're going to find that we recommend you really post in the discussion forum. I want to give you guys a look into that. So the discussion forum, like I mentioned earlier, is going to be embedded in a lot of the courses, some of which are going to be, of course, asked to discuss a certain topic within the course. But for the orientation, the discussion forum, we encourage you to post in is really just to introduce yourself to the community, because you're just getting started. You have the option to write as much as you want or as little as you want, as you can see here. For this person, this learner even put his social media profile, he put a photo, he wrote a lot about himself. And so it's really up to you, and you find that the learners from a global community really respond and reach out to you. All right. Let's go back to the homepage here. So I want to give you guys a look as well into the leadership and organizational development course. So let's say this is actually one of the early MBA courses you would be involved in. It shows the MBA program. And it's one of the early courses. And if, let's say, you are scheduled to start this this course at the beginning of next month, because actually our courses start at the beginning of each month, right? And before you even get started, you're a little anxious. You want to know, okay, who's going to be teaching me? Is there any kind of information I can know beforehand? Don't worry, you'll definitely be already able to see this view that you're seeing right in front of you here. We're having an overview of what modules are included in the course. And if you want to know who your professor is, you can even go up to the welcome tab here. Like I mentioned earlier, there's a syllabus you can download for every course. So you'll see that right off the bat in the quick links, there's a syllabus you can download for this. And it even says meet the faculty. So if you just scroll a bit to the bottom, you're going to see who the course professor is, right? And you'll even find a specific, like a unique email address that is only, unique to this course. So if you have any questions specifically related to this course, you can send it or write to that email address and get a response. And if still that's not quite the help that you were looking for, you can book a one-on-one meeting actually with the professor. So this is applicable not only for Dr. Bill, of course, it's applicable for any course professor that you might. All right, and with that, I'd love to ask the first question here to Oladimeji. Like, can you tell us a bit about your studying style at Nexford? How do you manage your study schedule around your life?
Okay, hello everyone. My name is Oladimeji from Nigeria. So studying at Nexford is quite an exciting experience. And just to tell you, they have a rigorous curriculum. Now, I have a full-time job and I also have a family with 2 young kids. I mean, both of my kids are less than 4, so you can imagine what I'm talking about. Learning can be quite challenging. So what I have done is to plan myself. You know, I have a checklist each week on all the study tasks that I have. So what I do is at the beginning of each week, I print out all I'm supposed to do, each course, or, you know, I'm currently taking 2 courses in a term. So I print everything out and I have it right staring at me in the office all day. So what I do is each time as I move with my work at the office, I'm also aware of all the tasks that I have to complete with my MBA. And this, you know, usually helps me to not to miss any deadlines, because if you miss a deadline, it can be quite challenging for you to catch up, you know, both in studying wise and in doing your assignment. So checklist works a lot for me. Another thing that works for me is reward. I reward myself after completing a particular course. So let's say I complete this course that I found quite challenging or something. As soon as I do the final assignment, you know, I take myself out to a nice restaurant or buy myself a nice, you know, something nice. It's mental, it's rewards, you know, that reward thing helps me to continue with the next, you know, with the next course. Another thing again that I did is, I just told you I'm a family man and I have a full-time job. So what I did is I informed my supervisor, my boss at work, that, okay, I'm currently doing an MBA, not for them to reduce my workload, but for them to understand that, you know, I may not be available for extra time or extra shifts, you know, or if they can help me to give me my tasks, you know, ahead, you know, just with the idea that they should help me out while I'm doing this. And I believe any good boss or supervisor should be happy that their workers are upskilling, which is a good thing for the company. So, and family too. I tell family and friends that, hey, look, I'm doing this MBA. So if you want me to go out for any social function, give me an advance notice so I can plan properly. And finally, again, is to take a break when you feel overwhelmed. You know, sometimes when you feel overwhelmed, it's good to take a break and, you know, take a step back before you continue. And, you know, that's how I've been functioning so far.
Amazing. Thanks a lot. Those are some really great tips. It's really important to understand, especially the nature of your own life, you know, your schedule, and how to really work your studies around that. And with that, I'd love to show you guys now just a little bit more about assignments at Nexford, which is one of the questions we get a lot as well. You know, some people think it's going to be like books or materials or some external thing they have to download from somewhere else. But I'm here to tell you it's all online. You're going to find it within the online platform. So let me show you the, let's start with an optional self-assessment, which is actually also within the leadership and organizational development course. So you're going to be finding some of these throughout your courses. So these aren't graded. These aren't to be graded. These are, you know, optional for you. Actually, these are just self-assessments. They're sort of knowledge checks for you. You know, if you feel like you want to try to practice what you learned, you know, what skills you've been given throughout this course, this is definitely a great thing for you to actually try out and see, you know, how you're going to do. So let me show you how it looks like. It's really quite straightforward. You know, you're going to be asked to complete a certain, you know, assessment activity, which you can download. You know, it can be in any form. It could, you know, be a Word document or PDF. And once you've completed that, you can just, you know, upload it here. So you can add your attachment, and you have the option to either, you know, save and submit it, or you can even just save and submit it at another time if you want to have, you know, a second look at it. And here we have one of the graded assignments. So this is a case for change. you'll see that you're given the option, you're given two options actually for which you want to do. So you'll be seeing that throughout your program as well. We want you to really be in control, whenever you can. And this is quite an interesting one. You're going to be given a fictional scenario for Tesla, and you need to do certain things for it. Of course, I've gone ahead and actually answered this assignment just so I can show you guys how it looks like in our online platform. Of course, I probably wouldn't have been given a grade for this because you're going to find the template is empty. But I just went ahead and submitted it just so you guys can see how the template actually looks like. So you're going to be well accustomed to Turnitin throughout your program. This is one of the softwares that we use that is really something between the learners and the professors. It's quite dynamic. You'll be seeing many different formats for your assignments. And the great thing is that, once you submit it, you'll see, let's say for this one. So this is the template. The blank area here is where your answers, would have been. And then once you submit that, your professor, of course, would then, grade your assignment, and they can leave for you comments, such as this, like, good job, or they can even put points for improvement. This is great, but it would have been great if you, had, put in more details and so on, it depends. But I would say even if you've done a great job, you're always going to find from our professors that they're always giving you points for improvement, what you can do even better in the next course. And with that, I want to ask Rifki, how has your experience been so far with these assessments, assignments, and especially professor feedback?
Okay, thank you so much for the question. So once again, hi everyone. It's really nice to see you here from all around the world. If you're just joining, and then I think that I saw some of my friends from Indonesia. It's really nice to see you there. Hi guys, because it's been like 2 years for me not back to my home country, so it's quite miss my country. So back to the question, it's really, to be honest, because this is my first time as an international student anyway, right? Because basically I am an international student, so I need to a lot of adjustment, a lot of knowledge for me that what happened if I registered as a learner in the American university. So it's really interesting for me. So I just took I registered. I took my English test, the EF1. It's quite tough, to be honest. And then I took the writing test for the MBA with the professor, Dr. Bill, actually. And then with the test is quite good. It's quite impressive for me. I just know that, oh, this is my capability actually. This is the result of the test. Oh, I just find out about myself, and then that's why it's really interesting. And then about the assignment is I saw that there is one question in here that is how depth the assignment is. For me personally, it's not only take like theoretically, but it's really applicable for your job, because myself right now, currently I work for a corporate in Malaysia for airline industry for the Singapore. And then it's really easy for me to applicable all the knowledge here to do my job. So that's why it's really quite depth, to be honest. And then how about the Turnitin, like you said before? And then it's really interesting. I just because previously in Indonesia and then from just like other country in Asia, we have different standard, we have different plagiarism and everything. Now I have to adjust with the Turnitin. It's something like new for me, and then I need to, before I submit it, I need to consult with my professor. Is it good? Is it good enough before my final submissions? So yeah, everything just there, everything assignment, and then the modules, the resources, everything just there. So I feels like being spoiled, to be honest. Everything just there. So the key point is about me, about myself, that will I take this assignment, when I finish this assignment, when I finish this module. So it's all about yourself, about me. So I feel like I've almost 6 months for now, like, okay, I get used to it, and then it feels nice, interesting, and then it gives me a lot of knowledge and then applicable theoretically and applicable modules that are really helpful for me in my job and in my life.
Amazing. I'm really happy to hear that. And, since really we have learners such as yourself and as well as Oladimeji from all around the world, I need to ask, is it confusing for you guys, the different time zones for submitting assignments? This might be a concern for some people. So I'd love to hear you guys, what you think about that. Maybe Oladimeji.
Yeah, Alumni.
Okay. Oh yeah. Time zones. Initially, when I first started, the time zone thing was a bit of a problem. But thank God for Google and other things. I just quickly put the converter in there to find out what it is. But it took time for me to adjust, actually. But with time, I believe I had a conversation with one of my professors. When I asked her about time zones, and she told me, "Hey, you're taking a business course. You should know how to convert time zones." And then I had to find out ways of doing it myself. And, so it wasn't really much of a challenge throughout the course, but in the initial part, it was. But as soon as I got the handle of it, it was easy to follow.
Yeah. Amazing. Yeah, and I believe we also have a time zone converter as well that you're going to be able to actually use also during your program. So you'll find all the help you need, I guess, really with figuring out the time zones.
Interesting, exactly.
Yes. So speaking about like that support, I want to also show you guys the shortcuts that I was talking about earlier. So you'll see the success scheduler right at the bottom here. So what is that all about? If you haven't started your application journey yet with Nexford, if you haven't delved into our website enough, you might not have yet seen the term success advisor. So you're going to be very accustomed to this term, because the success advisor is really going to be like your savior at the beginning of your program at Nexford. This is going to be your coach or your mentor. You can consider them as that. They're there to guide you, especially in the first few months of your program. And aside from your personal or dedicated success advisor, you're going to have 24/7 access to speak to our full success team, as well as any course professor, anybody in our faculty. So you're going to find the 24/7 support that you need. So in regards to success advisor, this is someone you're going to be assigned actually 5 days before you even start your Nexford program. So you're going to meet them from that early on. You're going to meet them along with the orientation. So you'll receive access to the orientation as well as meet the advisor before you even start your Nexford program. And so for the success scheduler I was mentioning, if you click on that, it's going to take you to this booking page here where you can book a one-on-one meeting with any success advisors. So this can be a 30-minute session with, you can choose your actual dedicated success advisor, or you can choose any other success advisor from our team. So let's say you pick Camille and just, pick any timing, put it in your details, and that's it. You're going to have a one-on-one session with them. So this is one of the many ways you can get support throughout your program if you have any questions. And aside from that, of course, there's going to be the writing lab as well. So let me tell you guys more about that. If you were to click on that, like I mentioned earlier, this is something that's always there that you can always access because we know not everybody is a natural born writer, and especially when it comes to the kind of assignments or the kind of things you might be required to submit during your program, you might find it a bit more challenging. Maybe you don't understand the formatting that's required. Maybe you just simply need help with your academic writing or a bit more help with your English. You'll find all of that here. So you'll find all the resources that you need. And if it still doesn't also, answer what you're looking for, you can actually get acquainted with our writing lab coach, Caroline Fernandez. So you can learn a bit about her here. And most importantly, you can book a one-on-one session with her as well. So it'll also take you to this booking page here. Pick any timing. Of course, the earlier you pick, you might find that there aren't as much slots, but definitely this is a great way to get further help. And if you don't prefer to have a one-on-one session, I'm here to tell you also that in the homepage, you're going to find this announcement section, right? On the right side. So announcements are really anything that our faculty announce, or even our tech team. So they're things that are, of course, important for our learners to know. So these announcements, you actually get them straight to your mailbox if you're using the mobile app, because we do have a new LMS application through which you can access the Nexford online platform, Nextly, and through that, you can definitely access your courses and your studies and everything, but please note that you will still need a PC or laptop to be able to do your assignments. So anyway, when you have this application, you're going to receive notifications also for these announcements. And I would say Caroline is the most active in the section, because she holds a lot of these drop-in sessions. So these are, again, different than the one-on-one session you would have been able to book with her. These are sessions where you can join actually with other learners. And I would really encourage this also, because it's a great chance to meet, different learners from around the world. Of course, hearing different questions and ideas might really help you as well. You might learn, different things. Like, for example, one of our drop-in sessions here had 67 learners in the call. So I think that's a great option for you as well. So Ladumeji, I want to ask you, how have you found the, success team support so far? And do you tend to depend on your success advisor or success team, or more so on other Nexford learners?
Okay, yeah, thank you for that. I really appreciate the thoughtfulness of Nexford to have success advisors at the early stage of our onboarding experience, because it really helped me personally. I remember when I just first started, I had Camille Rivera as my success advisor, and she was quite up to date with everything that happens to me at Nexford. She had access to my deadlines. She reminded me of deadlines, gave me study tips, send me articles, always checking in to find out how I was doing, and telling me that I could always reach out to her or anyone on the team if she's not available. That made me my onboarding experience quite easy, because studying online can be quite challenging in the initial stages where you're trying to get a handle of things, but the success advisors help to ease things out. And once you have challenges, you can reach out to them. I reached out to her several couple of times. We had a relationship, and they will give you candid advice. They're quite empathic. They understand what you're going through, because the way they respond to your questions or your wherever it is you're asking, they respond empathically, and you could see that they really know what they're saying. They don't just respond based on the fact that they're working for Nexford. They respond from a student point of view. And whatever it is, challenges that you are facing, these guys are always there. And I remember, her checking in and, congratulating me on finishing a course, and, till I finished the foundation courses. I think while I was finishing foundation courses, and she said that, well, now you would have to continue without me. But then again, I said, hey, are you just leaving? She's like, no, they're always available, but that one-on-one relationship won't be there as much, and they're always available. I could always still reach out to them to ask questions. But I really appreciated that close checking ins. It really helped me, calmed me down in the initial process, while I was doing the foundation process, and it helped me solidify myself at Nexford. And again, I'm happy that they let me out to stand on my own at some point, because any parent wouldn't want to be holding the hands of his child forever. You want that child to do things on his own in order to be self-reliant. So that part of Nexford was really, really great. After the foundation courses, and as I kept going on, at some point I had reasons to check in with success people about anything. Basically, either I was overwhelmed about my deadlines, and they would advise you on what to do. And usually the advice are usually the best to take. So I wouldn't know if students are really taking advantage of these guys, but these guys are really a very strong part of the learning experience at Nexford that I think everybody should partake from.
Amazing. I'm really happy to hear about the journey and that sort of experience that you had with your success advisor. And we're always telling our learners, the success advisor that you're going to have at the beginning, we don't want you to worry that moment they tell you, okay, you're good to go. We don't have to guide you in the same way. It doesn't mean you're going to be alone. And definitely, you'll always find them reaching out to you before you even think to reach out to them. And this is because they are, tracking your progress. They're making sure that you're doing all right. You don't seem to be struggling, because we actually want you to succeed. So that is just a little bit more about really the, success team and the success advisor experience at Nexford. And, I sort of another question here I want to ask to Rifki is just, have you had a chance through the Nexford experience to make any friends from around the world, maybe?
Yeah, of course, because as like new student, it's like a new student, basically like, where am I? I feel like alone, especially this is the online university, right? This is the revolutionary university. So I feel like back then in the first months, I think I feel like, so my only communication with my SEDI success advisor. So almost every day he's really helped me a lot through the how I manage my course, my modules, and then the university things. And then I keep thinking, like, especially I'm in Malaysia, right? It's really small numbers of learners here, not like in Nigeria or Indonesia maybe. And then I keep thinking, like, how it feels like if I have a lot of friends from around the world. So I just find out, and then I asked Sadie, hey, do you mind if we made group WhatsApp group or something like that? Of course and then Sadie like, we have already for the every batch learner. So he gave me that, oh yeah, this is the WhatsApp group, and then I just joined it, and I feel like welcome, so nice. They are so nice. So for the WhatsApp group from the all around the world, my batch and May batch 2021, sorry, they're really helpful, and they're really nice. So it feels like, okay, so this is how it's like the class, online class, communicate with people, talking about the modules, talking about the course assignments. We share our challenges, we share our struggles together. So it not feels like alone, to be honest. So it's really nice. And then beside my batch MBA, I have a WhatsApp group for my countries. And then I find out that a lot of learners from Indonesia, and then I find out also like a lot of learners as well in Malaysia. So I feel like, wow, so I have a lot of friends, to be honest, in this university. So I feel not alone anymore. Besides that, we share the same struggle. For example, like I got C, I got F, I got Turnitin with the high plagiarism. What should I do and everything? The chaotic of the class is really there, and then it's really interesting to communicate with them, to make friends with them.
That's fantastic. I'm really happy to hear that. Like aside from these WhatsApp groups, which to tell you more about is you're going to find there are these country-specific WhatsApp groups, learner WhatsApp groups that you can join as soon as you start learning at Nexford, as well as program-specific groups. So there are many different WhatsApp groups. It's one of the questions we get a lot. Of course, it's understandable. Learners want to be able to connect. They want to find someone that they can relate to, within their program as well. So you're going to find all of that. And if you haven't even begun your learning journey yet at Nexford, we also have a Facebook group on Facebook. It's called Nexford Network. This is not only for Nexford learners, it's also for aspiring learners. It's for anybody just interested in learning. It's a great place for you to sort of see the beginning of the journey for a lot of the learners. You'll find on that Facebook group a lot of them just saying like, oh, I'm starting my program next month, who else is starting, you'll find that kind of things. You'll find also a lot of study tips, just a lot of insider information on the Nexford learning experience as well. So I really recommend for you to go over on Facebook as well. This group is completely just led by our learners, and it's a great place for you to also even make new friends before you start your Nexford program. All right, and something else I want to talk about in regards to the sort of support you get at Nexford. So aside from our success team, we actually have also the option for you to take a leave of absence, because, committing to an online program we get, that concern a lot as well. Okay, I'm going to commit, I'm going to go for my MBA or my bachelor's degree. What if at any point anything happens, and I am unable to continue, or I want to take a break for a while? So don't worry, we understand that life happens. We understand that sometimes something can, be completely out of your plans and you're going to need to take a break. So depending on what program you go for, you're going to have certain leave allowance. So, you can take a leave of absence for up to 4 months, for example, in your MBA. You can take up to 8 months in your BBA. And of course, if, your situation is sort of more serious, or you need more time than that, don't worry about it also. Just reach out to our success team, and they are going to be more than happy to help you. Maybe they can make some sort of exception. So we don't want you to worry. You're never going to feel alone at Nexford. Right, and we are actually nearing the end of the webinar and being able to go into the Q&A section. I want to remind everybody who's on board with us so far that please, if you have any questions, anything that comes to mind, please send them into the Q&A section so we can start to answer them, at the end of the webinar. And also for anybody who joined late, don't worry, this is being recorded, so you're going to be sent a recording of this webinar straight to your mailbox. All right, and I guess next I will show you guys some of the other features that, or benefits, I'd say, that you get access to while you study at Nexford. So we were talking about the shortcuts earlier, right? So we discussed the success scheduler. I want to show you guys also the NXU library. So this is really a robust, library that we have of a lot of information, encyclopedias, research papers, articles, and so much more that it goes over so many different topics and industries. And this is just really a great research tool for you that you can use. You'll have full access to as a Nexford learner. It'll help you throughout your program. It can even help you throughout your life, maybe throughout your business. So, this is really one of the exciting features that you have access to. And aside from the NXU library, you'll see here it says LinkedIn Learning. So if you haven't heard of LinkedIn Learning before, this is obviously related to LinkedIn. It is, a platform where you can, join any course or any video. So, as an Nexford learner, you get unlimited and free access to over 16,000 LinkedIn Learning videos and courses that go over so many different topics as well in industries. So the exciting thing is that, let's say you're studying a certain topic, or you're studying a certain program at Nexford that is not related to, let's say, a hobby that you have, something else that you're interested in. For example, let's say you're taking a bachelor's degree, or let's say an MBA in sustainability, for example. And at the same time, you're like, okay, I want to learn more about maybe, how to work from home, how to time manage. I want to learn more about marketing. You'll find all of that here. So a lot of our learners really love this extra benefit. When you have the time, you can definitely take it side by side to your program. The great thing is you get a certificate of completion as well. They're, often really happy to be able to share this as well. You get to show to your, community, your social media profile, your employees, your colleagues, your followers, and so on, that you're really learning on the go. You're not just waiting to complete your program and then apply what you've learned, and then being able to add this as well to your portfolio is really going to help you. And so aside from these certificates, you also get these digital badges. So these are assigned to you, basically, or given to you, I'd say awarded to you by Nexford when you've completed certain courses. And so it's not for every course at Nexford, but definitely for some of them, we at that time, consider that you have really acquired a certain competency. For example, because you finished this course, you are now, to be considered a data-driven decision maker. And some of our learners really make it, I think, a hobby to sort of like collect these badges. You should be proud of them because, for anyone who doesn't understand, okay, what does a financial decision supported really mean? The great thing is that if you were to click on this, it's going to take you to this official page that will, that's verified by Badger. It's going to tell everybody when exactly you were given this badge and why were you given this badge. What was the earning criteria? What were the skills, competencies that you gained in order to actually be awarded this digital badge. And aside from that, I want to tell you guys more as well about the career services portal that we have at Nexford. So, for anybody who's just started to learn with us, you'll be already finding a lot of support with your career, because let's say if you're taking our MBA, your first career planning session actually starts during your 3rd month learning with us. So this is at the point where you meet a career advisor. So this is quite different than the success advisor I mentioned earlier. This is an advisor who's solely, focused on helping you with your career, anywhere from crafting your CV, how to prepare for interviews, how to grow your career, and so much more. Right. And so, so this is during your program, right? And you might be thinking, okay, well, how about after I graduate? Support's still going to be there. The good news is definitely yes. So we're not only helping you throughout your program, even after you graduate, you're going to find a lot of help from us as well to really help you grow your career and, hopefully get the job that you want or otherwise, and one of the ways you can do that is definitely through LinkedIn Learning. If you're based in Africa, you also get unlimited access to IBM Digital Nation Africa. So I recommend you take a look at this platform as well if you want. This is, I think, for courses or topics that are more tech related. So you'll find things like cybersecurity, programming, Internet of Things, and so much more. It's a great platform also for you to learn more of those technical skills. And aside from those, we have localized one of our offerings also through this platform. You not only get to, meet and be connected with like international, coaches and mentors, career coaches and mentors, of course. You also are able to attend these virtual job fairs. You get to have a profile, you get to add your skills, and so much more. So it's a really helpful place as well for growing your career and really getting out there. So again, this is the kind of support that you get not only throughout your program, but even after you graduate. One of the things I want to let you know is there's something called also Alumni Access. So let's say you quite enjoyed your Nexford experience and all the benefits that you had, and you're nearing graduation and you're worried like, okay, well, I got so used to being able to study on LinkedIn Learning or IBM Digital Nation Africa or localized and all of these things. You're even given a Microsoft 365 license. Like, what am I going to do? I'm going to lose all of this, Well, I have good news for you. You can actually continue to have access to these things if you actually subscribe to our Alumni Access program. So that is something definitely you can look into, before you graduate or even after you graduate. Just reach out to our team and we'll tell you all the details of how to have access to all of this. Right, and the last bit I will discuss here is just one of my personal favorites is we have teamed up with Tree Nation to actually give you a tree. So are we giving you a tree? Are we sending it to you? No, but we have a forest actually in Tanzania. And we have so far actually planted over 3,000 trees. So all you need to do to have a tree planted on your behalf is you need to enroll at Nexford. And you get your tree registered, you can even track the progress, and we're super excited about this. This is really in line with our, we support the UN or United Nations Sustainable Development Goal, for quality education as well as for climate action. So, you can really help the world become greener just by joining us, really. All right, and with all these features, I think that about ends our Nexford virtual tour. So if you have any questions in mind, now is your chance to really send them in. And finally, I just want to ask, Ladimeji, like, can you tell us, like a bit more about your Nexford learning journey so far? What were some of your favorite parts? What were some of the challenges? I'd really love to hear from you.
Okay, yeah, thank you. Well, my Nexford journey has been quite eventful. The learning experience has been great and valuable, I must say. I like the fact that the curriculum is rigorous. It's well curated. They give us real-time examples and real-time events. They teach the professors teach us things that are valuable currently, and it has made me to read more deeply and intently. because you would be required to, present these things in your assignments, how well you have absorbed study materials and, and the lectures and the like. So I like the hands-on approach to learning at Nexford. It has pushed me really hard to go beyond outside my comfort zone, just toughen me up because, you would want to be toughened up well, so that when you finish your MBA, you would be able to apply what you have been taught, and the learner experience is quite good. In terms of challenges, I initially, one of the challenges I had was applying the APA writing style. I used that in my previous studies, but for some reason, I couldn't remember everything. And the professors keep reminding us to attend the writing class. There's this constant writing class that's available, which will prep you up about the APA writing, way, because I know I've lost some marks because I didn't follow the APA writing, model. So that is one of the challenges I had. And another challenge was when I did one of the accounting courses, because I never did accounting, prior to now. But, being introduced to it, it was something that was quite new. And, I was a bit slow in catching up, but with time and with my professor's feedback. Now, professor's feedback is something I really like at Nexford. It shows you clearly what your mistakes are, and you have an opportunity to ask them further, to explain where you didn't get something right. And even before you submit an assignment, you can check in with them and just to be sure you're doing things rightly, and the likes. And now I understand why I need, the accounting course is a course that is currently applicable to my role currently, because I'll be going through accounts and stuff, and I just need to know how these things are done. So I love the quantitative and qualitative way that Nexford is toughening me up during my courses, because these are things that I will use in the real world out there, and I'm using currently. I'm not done with my MBA course, but most of what I'm being taught, I'm already using them in my current role. So I love the rigorous curriculum of Nexford, and the feedback of the professors has been quite amazing.
Great, I'm very happy to hear that, Ladimaji. Then I guess I'd like to ask you also, like, how has your MBA program, sort of changed your life so far?
Okay, it's really interesting, to be honest, because to pursuing my master's degree in MBA is one of my goals in my life, to be honest. But since my work, travel around the world outside Indonesia, and I found this Nexford University is really a match with my goals, with my needs. So it's really, even though I just started in May 2021, and then, but it's quite impact me a lot, to be honest. The first thing that I can feel is I can apply or just finish, for example, because all the courses, if all the courses has a final project, usually my trick is after all the final project, I can apply all of these to my job. It's because, thanks God, all the courses, all the modules in the Nexford University is really, really keep up with the changes, really updated with the global industry, with the global needs. So it's not only like theoretically, and then not really like folk or broad theory and anything, but really, really applicable. So to be honest, sometimes I really feeling like being helped if I have some problems in my job, and then I have an issue. I made that probably my job as a case study for my assignments to be discussed with my professors, and it's really, really helpful, to be honest. And I'm agree with the Oladimeji with professor feedback is really important. It's really fun. A lot of professors really nice and fun, and then not give you a broad or vague explanations, but really specific on which part you need to do, you need to be improved, so you know what to do next. So it's really feel like personal for me. And then yeah, and then all of the struggling and challenges for me as international students of also APA format. So I need a lot of adjustment, and then I need a lot of join with Caroline and writing lab class to refreshing. Oh, okay. Oh, this one I need to refresh again about my APA format for my writing skills, because sometimes I feel like, okay, this is already set and already good. But after a submission and then graded by the professor still even notes, please follow APA format. So I feel like, what's wrong again? Okay, I need to refresh them with the color line in the writing labs and everything. So I will double check. So yeah, my writing skills really improve. It's including impact me because I have a lot of emails in my job. I'm taking care of a lot of emails. So unconsciously, I never realized it. And then my supervisor complimented me, "Hey, your email is really good." I was like, "Oh, thank you." So it's really impact me into my job. And then even though I'm not ready to graduation yet, right? And then I feel like lucky to be here. So meet a lot of people across the world with the updated knowledge, with the keep up with the global industries, and then the personalized with feel the personal with the professors. With the feedback is really helpful for me, and then I can get the knowledge and applicable with my company. And even though I use my company as my assignment and then my case study and everything, so it's really helped me with my life, with my job, and everything.
Thanks a lot for sharing, Rifki. I know we're running a little over here, so for anybody who needs to go because it's like the the end of the 1 hour, please don't worry. You're going to be sent a recording of this webinar. If you have additional questions or you had questions you sent in the Q&A that we couldn't get to, don't worry. Please send them in as well to help@nexford.org. If you go on our website, you're going to find in the About section all all the different ways on WhatsApp. You can do so by email and so much more. And if you want a different sort of tour into a specific area on the the Nextly and the Nexford learning environment, you can book a one-on-one tour with me as well. So this can be a mini tour. We can go through it in about 15 to 30 minutes. So don't worry about it at all. And thanks again, of course, for joining us. So for those that have a couple of more minutes and you're still online with us, thanks for sticking with us, and we're gonna get to your questions, and especially you're gonna be able to hear some final advice also from both our learners, Oladimeji and Rifki. So Oladimeji, if you can please just tell us some final advice for aspiring learners.
Yeah, an advice I would give to aspiring learners is, once you've decided to come to Nexford, be prepared to be toughened up, be prepared to be challenged, to be prepared to move out of your comfort zone. Don't come to expect an easy ride, because that won't do you any good as a good learner. So be prepared to go out of your comfort zone, but again, leverage on support groups. And we've discussed before, there's the Success Advisors. This is a very good support group that you will need during your journey. And we also have, just as the panelists have said, we have WhatsApp groups. These support groups are invaluable. If you go there, you will see students with similar problems that you're facing, similar challenges, and how they came out of it. These support groups will help your learning experience. And finally, try to push yourself, but don't compete. So I'm saying this because you would see students who are better than you in certain areas. Maybe they learn faster, they're completing their MBA course quicker than you are anticipating you would. Don't compete. Be real with yourself. Know what you have the time you have to put into your studies, and don't push yourself too hard. Okay? Don't push yourself too hard. Work with your schedule. Talk to your success advisors where you're feeling overwhelmed, but don't feel overwhelmed because of competition. Because when you do that, you would make mistakes. You will start making mistakes in your assignments. You start making mistakes in pretty much everything. You won't be studying well. You won't let the study experience go through you. So know the time, know your schedule, and be real with yourself. So when you're real with yourself, you would know how much time you can put into your MBA learning. Is it 6 months? Is it 8 months? Is it a year? Just be real and be prepared. That's what I have to say.
Great.
Fantastic advice. Thank you so much. I think that's really some words of wisdom, for anybody who's thinking of joining us at Nexford. I'd love to hear from you as well, Rifki. Any final advice?
Okay, thank you so much for the chance. And then not really much for me, because for me, you have to make sure your goals and then your commitment. That's the important thing, because everything just there, every facility just there. Nexford University give you everything. Library, and then library, writing lab, counselor, like success advisors, and then courses, really good courses, and then LinkedIn Learner that I use it a lot. It's really interesting to use LinkedIn, right? So then the things that are really important is really it's about your commitment and your goals. How you set your goals, how you expect and then reach your goals with the Nexford. Is it reachable, or is it Nexford can help you to reach your goals, and then your commitment, how you manage your time? Because especially if like you have full-time job like Alumni and me, it's kind of challenging to manage time, and I know that feeling. And then sometimes you feel like overwhelmed with all of this assignment, with all of these courses. I know that. So it's okay to take your time, to take your break. And yeah, it's okay. So make sure your commitment, and then you have to has time management skills. It's really good. Which part when you have to work, which part when you have to doing your assignments, doing your final project and everything. And then what is it? And then take a break if you feel overwhelmed, because in the beginning, my success advisor saw me my progress. Look, your progress is really good. How about you take 2 courses in a month? I feel like I know my limit. I cannot do that. So I know my limit, and I know my time. I feel like I don't want to feel overwhelmed, and that will impact me. So I took 1 course in a month. So, but I feel 1 course in a month is enough for me, because I push myself, and I doing my best in this time every month. So that's why I feel like I'm satisfied with my results every month, with every final project. So yeah, you make sure your goals, make sure your commitment, time management, and it's okay to take a break.
Okay, that's amazing. Thanks a lot, Ricky. All right, I know we are running a little time here, so anybody who's still with us, thank you so much for sticking till the end, and we are finally going to get to your questions. So we received a lot of questions. We had an expert advisor helping us on chat, so you might have already gotten a lot of answers. I'd love to answer some of these live. So we have a question here from Sally Juva. Can we have a graduation ceremony in Nexford headquarters campus? Okay, that's a very good question. But if you hadn't noticed so far, we have really only been talking about an online Nexford experience. This is because Nexford is 100% online. So we do not have a campus. While we have our main headquarters in Washington, D.C., it is not a place people, our Nexford learners can study and sort of visit. So if you need more information about that, definitely also email us at help@nexford.org. When it comes to graduation ceremonies, though, you will have the option to attend a graduation ceremony that we're planning to do in Washington, D.C. We've also held some graduation ceremonies around the world so far, in Egypt and in Nigeria just last March. So it really depends on where a lot of our graduates, are graduating at the same time. So our team is always working behind the scenes to create more graduation ceremonies around the world. And, if we can't get to your country, don't worry, because our team is also working on holding their very first virtual graduation ceremony. And we have a question also from Lekan. Are you saying the program comes with free access to LinkedIn Learning? Yes, that is exactly what I'm saying. So as a Nexford learner, you will have free and unlimited access to LinkedIn Learning, as well as the other features that I mentioned earlier. Right, we have a question from Christine. How do I get my transcript from my schools to Nexford? And will my past school send it directly to Nexford, or will I need to get it myself and upload? Please, this is important to me. All right, that's a great question. So the transcripts are only deemed official if your previous institution sends it directly to Nexford. Having said that, you can apply and complete your application and even start your program with only an unofficial digital copy that you may have. That's okay, but you will be given at least 60 days for your previous institution to send in your official transcript. So this can be sent by email. We prefer that to transcripts@nexford.org, or they can send it to our mailbox, our shipping mailbox. So also please reach out to our team. Anybody who's asking how to reach out to our team, there's help@nexford.org. If you go to nexford.org, actually, our website, www.nexford.org, you'll find just a WhatsApp button right at the top where you can speak to an Nexford advisor directly. You'll find a response very quickly. So that's one of the best ways as well. If you prefer to chat on WhatsApp, you can even call us. You'll find all the different ways you can contact us on our website. All right, and somebody asked also for the double specialization, what's the duration and fee? Anyone who's hearing double specialization for the first time, what does this mean? For the MBA, if you're torn which specialization to choose between, I have great news for you. You can actually choose two. So you can start with one specialization, complete that, and then top it up with yet another specialization. That way you can graduate with a double specialization. So somebody asking what's the duration and fee, that's quite hard to pinpoint because it really depends on how fast you complete your MBA, how many courses you take at the same time. Somebody can complete an MBA with a double specialization in a year. Someone else can take 2 years. Someone else can take 5 months. So, I would say each course at Nexford, while it's designed to take you 8 weeks to complete, which is really 2 months more than enough time that you need, you can definitely finish it in a month or less. And you can take 3 or 4 courses at the same time. So it's really, there's a flexible pay structure. Right. Can someone still apply for a scholarship for a double MBA? Definitely. Any scholarships we might have on our scholarships page on our website, it isn't, specific to only picking a certain specialization or whether it's double or not. It's applied on the actual program, whether or not you choose to take a specialization. So of course, the terms and conditions vary depending on the type of scholarship as well as the admission requirements. So I recommend you go to www.nexford.org/scholarships as well to learn more about each different scholarship. Yeah, someone else, Tululope, is asking that someone in our team has been trying to call him, but each time the call drops. Can I have a WhatsApp number to engage for more information? Yes, definitely you can. I mentioned earlier that you'll find the WhatsApp button clear as daylight right on our webpage. So you should see it at www.nexford.org. All right, I think we can take in one more question. Let's see. Someone's asking if there's a physical location in Nigeria where we can go sometimes. Should we ever need a physical community of learners? That's a great question. We actually have spaces around the world, also in Lagos, Nigeria. So we have a community space. It's a place where you can definitely meet other learners. You can meet our team in Nigeria. There's Wi-Fi, you can order something, you can sit, you can just enjoy sort of your day and still definitely study online. So it's just a community space. It's not a place where you can actually study, but you can definitely go there and, have the sort of physical experience as well with Nexford learners. All right, let's see. Can I take one more question? Okay, let's take this last question here. Are fees fixed on the rate of a country's currency or can it change? This really varies on the country. At Nexford, we have tailored our tuition fees, to suit each local market. So you will find different fees in different countries. As for the exchange rate, this depends on, of course, the partnerships that we have, the different payment platforms. So I recommend that the best way you can get an answer to this is go to our tuition page on our website. We have a payment section that will tell you everything about the exchange rate. Some of them are definitely fixed. Some of them vary depending on the day that you choose to pay. All right, we have some amazing questions here, really. And if we couldn't get to them all, I really apologize. We had a lot of people join us today, as well as a lot of questions. Again, you can book a one-on-one session with me, to have a mini virtual tour. Otherwise, you can book a consultation with any Nexford advisor to just have a call. Again, WhatsApp us, send us an email at help@nexford.org, and you will definitely be sent a recording of this webinar. So thanks a lot for tuning in today. Thanks for those who took, an extra, amount of time to stick with us till now. And of course, thanks a lot to the lovely learners I have with me on board today, Ladimeji and Rifki. Thanks a lot for your advice as well for aspiring learners.
Thank you so much also, guys, everyone. Thank you so much for enjoying me and for having me, mate.
Thank you, everyone.
All right, everybody have a good day or a good night. Bye.
Okay.
Bye.